And so Travers and I share a background that we didn't even know when we first met. But I worked in advertising, production, and distribution services, and so I was a pitch man and a salesman, and I sold national campaigns and all the production that went around them for some big old brands. But AT&T Wireless was one of the big ones in the '90s and in the early aughts, and weirdly.
I was working at an advertising agency in Seattle, and AT&T Wireless was our main client. So during the day, I was writing the ads, and then they were being shipped to him to do the production work on. We were working on the same material, never met, never talked to each other, didn't know each other, didn't figure it out until years later.
It was a really wild connection, but that's what got both of us were I guess jaded from all of the databases and all of the marketing jargon, and then the actual production of advertising campaigns. So this is what kind of Cindy kind of intuitively figured out. Cindy Green, who ran for House District 44 here. And she brought me along, on the trip. And so I had the opportunity to apply those old skills to building out a useful campaign with quality materials. And this type of material needs to actually be available to all of our rural candidates. And it's not. It's actually withdrawn from them, and it's made difficult for them. So, it was amazing to be able to work with somebody who is as bold and pure and honest as Cindy Green. But then it was amazing to meet all these other candidates that stood up in counties and districts that were not being represented, that nobody was running against the incumbents. Nobody was running against the Republicans. The state party wouldn't back people and made it very difficult, including the rural county chair, the rural caucus chair, who tried to dissuade Cindy and dissuade Josh Utsi and dissuade a lot of these candidates who stood up from actually doing so. It was like just
Democrats telling Democrats not to run.
I know.
What is this?
One thing we talked briefly a little bit before we started the podcast was two things we had in common right off the bat when we first met each other, working with Cindy Green's campaign for delegate. Was we both had a sales background, salesperson. I was in professional sales for 35 years, everything from agriculture through finance and insurance services and products. I worked all along the Mid-Atlantic, stretched probably to the Midwest, all through the South. So Megaland, what's now Megaland, was my territory that I sold. So, I had to work with these, people, and I'm from Southwest Virginia. One thing, and I've been involved in politics here locally for, 20, 30 years, but I've not been involved in the party that much till recently. And what amazed me at the state and national level party, the state was the lack of salespeople. Yeah. You got marketing consultants. You got they do all this.
And burn your money.
Yes.
So fast. Terrible.
And the lack of having sales experience. And also, the reason why Doug Mullins and I started working with candidates was most of our candidates, Democrat, do not come from a sales background. Think about it. Now, Cindy did and Yvonne did, but most don't. Most of them are educators, but when you're running against a incumbent Republican who's a lawyer or a business people, see, they're already salespeople, so they already have this huge advantage. So one thing we wanted to do, and this is what your campaign, I'll turn it back over to you, was so good at, was just teaching those sales techniques of how candidates can sell themselves to voters.
Well, I'm a son of salespeople.
Yeah.
Right. So my family, which is 100% genetically Appalachian. I mean, it's Western Pennsylvania, Northern West Virginia, and Northeast Ohio. Both my parents are from Stark County, Ohio.
I'm going to tell you one thing. If my papa was alive today, he said, "You country." Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
That's right. You just need to see my truck and what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah.
We can have a picture of his new truck.
I've got to show. Yeah. It's a 1993, anyway.
Well, that's a late model.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's analog, and it's
got a really nice chain that holds the door.
That's right.